Had to take up my breath there, y'all. If you want to sit at the table, pull up a chair. Welcome to Let's Bring It to the Table, where we talk about how to enhance our lives by addressing issues that specifically impact our life.
Thank you, and welcome to Bring It to the Table. The information that is brought to you today for is educational and entertainment purpose only. It's not the expression of or the opinion of Let's Bring It to the Table. It expresses the opinion of our guests. Thank you.
And
Enjoy.
speaking of guests, welcome to the table, Logan.
Thank you.
You know, I hope everybody know how I can get. Those who know me know me.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to talk about this. At first I wasn't. I was gonna be a good old black person. You know how it's black people supposed to be, supposed to keep quiet and let the people do what they supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But today's topic kind of hit home because I was partially raised in Mississippi. So we're doing a special Black people, we got to do better. What the heck, Mississippi? So, in the news recently, they've been talking about this, what they're calling um, the Jim Crow law that's being conversion, where in actuality, I think they just coined it that way to upset people. So we have to work, we have to know that sometimes people use words in order to upset folks. So we know that. So with that being said, this bill 1020, I couldn't find out where it was placed on the docket. I tried for the past couple of days to figure out this. And before I go on, because my mind is real busy, I'm sorry, we're not doing Exquisite Taste today. Knowledge Power Hour. Abdullah, our bank, who was supposed to be talking about banks, had something that came up, and it was something that was very important. I understood it, so I felt like God gave an opening to something that I didn't want to wait till next month to do.
Okay.
So with that being said, Cedric, what do you think? Before I say anything, because usually people say I talk a lot. So I'm gonna let you say it first. What do you think about this bill 1020?
Mm.
I'm not gonna call it Jim Crow, but it's 1020.
Can I?
Yeah, you can if you want to.
Well, to me, it's a form of Jim Crow, regardless how they try to place the measure on crime itself. Maybe Hines County have a crime, but a typical everybody have a problem with crime. But the measure how they going about this and using that as a front and using it towards the uneducated people that is not aware that it's happening across the state in a country, that it'll pass on by without any problem. And then you wake up and it hits you. What happened? What happened?
That's what I'm trying to find out. What the heck happened? But we already know. We personally know how Mississippi tend to roll. Think
Mm-hmm.
about back in 2018 when what's that who's still in office? Sydney, Sydney. What's her name? Sydney. You know what? She's so
Mm-hmm.
irrelevant that she don't even matter. I don't think her name was Sydney Hines Smith.
Okay.
She's a senator. When she sat up during her political little whatever, she sat up and said that she would sit and watch a political lynching, public lynching, whatever. But she would sit and watch that. It's mighty funny to me. She's a Senate. Nobody tried to get her out of office. And so I'm gonna be a little petty in a sense, because I'm gonna say something to you black people. Y'all tend to think that sometimes that a closed mouth don't get fed. I don't believe everything or go with everything that Kanye West said, but they call themselves trying to close his mouth, and he wasn't supposed to say what he wanted to say, because we supposed to have, that First Amendment. They say we have
Yeah.
free speech. So if we're supposed to have free speech and you shut Kanye down about something that he said about the Jews, then why couldn't you shut Sydney Hines Smith down when she made this saying about a public lynching, knowing what she meant, when she didn't want to apologize the first time, and then she said it was a joke, and y'all still let this woman stay in office? Y'all didn't shut her down. Y'all didn't get her out. She's still to this day. That was in 2018. It's 2023. Why is she still in office? Why is it that when white people do things toward black people, it's always okay? Why is it always okay? They kill us. They say we're the savages, but they kill us. They lynched us in the past, and even now. They gun us down. And don't come here trying to tell me about what happened in Memphis. That's Memphis. Memphis will take care of its own in the way that they see fit. But I'm talking about universally throughout the whole United States of America, of how from the time we became free, everything that they've done to us. Even when we was minding the business that paid us, they came in like savages and killed us, destroyed us, and raped us, and beat us, and ostracized us, took our men and put them in prisons, mentally messed us up to where we don't even have enough sense to come together. And we're always talking about what we ain't doing right. And you sit up here and you let this woman stay. And she blatantly in your face on national news say, I'll attend a public lynching.
You know what is so funny about it? The ACLU is on everything. At least I haven't heard anything, comments, commentary, or anything that ACUL is saying. I haven't heard nothing. I hate to say it, I haven't heard nothing from the NAACP. I don't, and like you say, this House Bill 1020, how can you make a bill such as these and you have people from outwards that don't have no concern about Jackson, Mississippi or Hines County, don't have barely any say so or any representative of the people of itself? You will tell me how many people, colored people, have voted for the measure, but you won't tell me how many voted against. Have you came across any information about that?
Well, I pulled up an article, but it was February 8th from the ACLU, where Director Jarvis Dolch released, and he said, here's the issue. Lawmakers from majority white districts are proposing legislation that would significantly impact the majority of Black population of Jackson without consulting their representatives. Without consulting their representatives. Isn't that Benny, whatever his name is? He's one of those representatives.
Yeah, Benny is.
Okay. This is a direct threat to the freedom of the, they said, the capital city, and parallel to the Jim Crow era political schemes. Citizens should be able to hold judges and prosecutors accountable for their actions. It creates a new jurisdiction in that district. And it's white appointed.
So if you separated a district, and I know some counties is every 10 years change their voting, how they're going to issue out money every 10 years, how the votes and stuff, how the assessor plays the role of the measurement. But when you doing something like that and you're not getting the representative and it took it out of the people, the hand of the people, it should be a big problem concerning about when you're taking the hands of the people out out of it and you have no voice. And that's why I'm saying you wake up and you come across and you got something that barely anybody have knowledge of concern about. And I understand that we don't want to go back, but Mississippi, it's the same thing, but you're playing the same game, but in a different way. Jim Crow is Jim Crow. A segregation, how they did Jim Crow, this is just another way. You don't have the people voting for it. You don't have the people, and you're not informing the people concerned about the measure because you saying that you know what's best for us when you don't even have your own stuff in order itself.
Correct. And good evening, Sandra. We see you. Everybody that's out there, if you would like, follow, and share, comments are welcome. And we want to hear from everyone that's in Mississippi, if you can get on board. Sandra's share this with people, so we can get this out here because we need to have this conversation. We need to know how y'all feeling about this because just because you in Hernando, this affects you. Because once it starts somewhere, and like I said, I told someone else today, don't get it twisted. Just because they got us out here, it's going on all over. Georgia, over here in Atlanta, they just tried that, but they didn't call it that, and people that wasn't even bothered about it. It's when they back over in Buckhead, they were trying to do their own little city within Buckhead, and it failed. It didn't go through. So be mindful of what you're not paying attention. That's why I say read. Stop letting the news tell you what you want because they will wait to tell you anything. And so that's the only way that you can be a part of something if you get out here and do the reading. I want y'all to go out there and read this bill. I'm not there. My home is in Georgia now, forever. But y'all need to read this bill. I'm concerned because I got family over that way. It affects them in a way and that y'all don't even know the magnitude. But let me tell you something else. But in a sense, this other part of me, I'm kind of happy about it. I am. See, this is the thing. When we want to come together as Black people, we don't take 12% of the tax dollars to try to build up a city and do whatever. We do put on our bootstraps and we try to build our own. But the problem is they fight against us when we try to come together and we buy land and we're trying to build our own little towns and stuff so we can be away from all of this so-called crap that's going on that we don't want no part of because we're trying to find a place of peace where we can communicate and commune. And we want to do this. But see, you make it look so ugly and horrible that we want to separate. But when y'all separate, y'all do it with all the bells and whistles that y'all coming together on here in Mississippi. And it's going to come around on everybody else. And you tell Black people that y'all can't come together and build. But you see, they doing it right here in your face. And they're making excuses. Oh, it's the water. It's because of the water. It's because of the crime. It's because they ain't want to be a part of you. They're trying to keep the purest form of them. They ain't never want. They want your money. Understand that. 12%. That's what Jackson just said. 12%. Lois, I know you sitting back in the cup and you were originally born from Alabama. What you think about all this?
I think this was planned it, did underhanded without them knowing. They took their mind off other things and while they were working behind the scenes to get this bill passed. So that what happened. We was like the law bill 1020 was directly at our people.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened when they did the bill, they did it behind their back without them knowing of what was going on. Especially the rural area or the bad area, They
Mhm.
just want to go in and take that area over so they can be controlled that area. So that's what I'm thinking what that 1020 bill is to me, is they did it under people's nose without them being aware of it. If you got your mind on something else, they're gonna work behind the scene behind you to do what they gotta do to get the thing rolling. And it can start in Mississippi, like you said, they had started in Atlanta too, but Atlanta has stopped it.
I
It's
got
just, it's sad. It's sad to say for our people. We need to read, like you said, read. We need to read. Lack of knowledge won't take you that very far.
how f- how far Jackson from Hernando?
4 hours.
4 hours.
You know I know that by heart.
The reason I'm saying that, so if a state representative, Troy Lamar, stay approximately 2 hours away from Hines County,
Isn't he in Tunica? What part is he representing? Is it over that way?
he's a state representative. I don't remember where,
Okay.
but he's the representative, how the state representative that brought sponsored the bill.
Mm-hmm. And it's mighty funny. I know it took some money to get him to represent that, and it does. And I think you said something about the fact it doesn't impact him because that's not his area.
That was another representative. That representative was from Tunica.
Oh, okay. I got him mixed up. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So that Republican representative is 2 hours from that. If you track down some of his track record, he holds a Senate, once hold it, the Senate seat, the seat he holds will once hold by his grandfather, Lon Harford, who also introduced the 1962 bill that's made it harder for students to go to college.
I see what you're putting down. I'm picking up what you're putting down there, bro. Come on with it. Come on with it. Y'all not hear what he's saying.
That's sad.
And these are what color people now? Let's make sure
white people. And where he's from is major white people.
Mm-hmm.
And you dipping in a black. So if it's tightening up the residents of requirement for college students, and therefore, if you're going to bring bright students, if you bring these type of people want to come there to Jackson State University, to there, it wasn't geared mainly towards the big major college. You got to think about the black colleges now that are affected because the resident requirement for to gain in-state tuition and get those benefits from the state itself. So in a various statement of the House floor in an operative of, I think it happened about 2 weeks ago. Oh, excuse me. It was a system that was better for the county. Now, how can you better represent the county if you don't stay in the county and you stay 2 miles, not 2 miles, 2 hours away from it? So how can you can come, I can say, well, they got a crime rate. Who don't?
That part.
Right. So you want to blame it on crime. You want to blame it on everything else, and this is nothing but a flat tail where you won't have the proper people to represent the color people of that county and city.
Exactly.
Controlling. They want to control the city.
They want control of the city. They want to total control of the government. Because nothing is passing.
Yesterday, the Senate sent the bill back yesterday. They wrote some things in it and called themselves taking some things out, and they sent it back to the House.
they're going to constantly do that until they get what they made it want.
Mm-hmm.
which is that area they
Yeah.
want. That's and has and the thing is, it also said that they wanted to appoint Capitol Police. So Capitol Police, that's the part of the federal.
That's
So
not a
you're gonna have
federal.
this franchise. Well, state isn't state. Well, I guess you could say, but I'm still calling it federal because if you commit a crime, it's not a state crime. They call it a federal crime.
So who jurisdiction is this going to actually be?
It's gonna be within Jackson.
It's going to be within Jackson, but who is actually you didn't appoint these people are going to be appointed. The judge is going to be appointed
Yeah.
to the. If he's going to be appointed, what accountability he have at all to the
Only
people
to them
themselves?
people, not everybody. He's only accountable for that little town that they trying to create. This is they're building up their own political covering for this town. Am I not?
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying, but well, if you're going to have your own thing, therefore, it should be tax driven off of their taxes. If you stay in there, not other people of that county. If you want your little city, you should pay for it for yourself, not state funded, not receiving federal government funds that is given to the state. Because you just separated yourself. Otherwise you separating yourself from the state. Therefore, you need to give up your charter and separate your charter separated if you want to be separated. But you cannot do that because you got to get rid of the older people in the county that own land surrounding it.
Mm-hmm.
So who going to have, if you do that, if you're going to give the right of way to people going through your town?
That's right.
So it still goes to a point who they're going to be accountable, because how it sounds like you don't want to be accountable to nobody now, not even the state or federal government. So if you don't want to be accountable, you don't need to receive any type of funds on the people of that person. If you want to be a territory of yourself and have your own city, or partial, or parish, whatever you want to call it, define it as, you should be a type of responsibility of it.
Right.
Not looking for outside sources.
I get exactly what you're saying. Because my thing is, like I said, in a sense, it's one part of me, this big part of me. I'm saying go for it. I want to see what the outcome going to be. But you do know when they state they're appointing these people, that means that just exactly what you're saying. They should do exactly what they tell us to do, was just pull it up on, they strap up their bootstraps and get out here and do it the way you got to do it to get what you want. But, as they always say, we the ones with our hands out, but it seemed like they got their hands out in order to create this bull crap that they got going on over there.
I can't understand how we always got our hand out, and we the minority, we the smallest group.
Is you going by what they say?
It don't make it make sense. If we the minority and only consist of a certain percentage of the country, of the county, and to my understanding, it's one of the biggest city of black people in the United States. So you don't have no officials.
They get their own officials in there. That's what they're doing.
Well, they already got their own in there because it's top heavy, white heavy.
Yeah, controlling.
It's not color issue. It's not color. And we are a minority there.
And that's how it always been. In the well, for me, as I know of Mississippi, anytime that you have a city or town that is predominantly black,
Mm-hmm.
when you go into the town to go to the clerk's office or go to the courthouse and stuff, what do you see? Predominantly white. You don't see that many
Mm-hmm.
black people. You might got one black people in the whole building that works there.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is any blacks that work in that building, they're not working in the offices that one person is, but the rest of them
Yeah.
is working in maintenance or
Mm-hmm.
transportation or cleanup crew outside, as part of the government. But you might have one that does it. I know that Sardis used to be that way. I know Como used to be that way. And there's some other towns that's that way. Tunica used to be that way until the casino came. I don't know what it looks like now.
But you're gonna always have that problem. Long as Mississippi's setting up laws and stuff like this, they gonna run away the brightest minds
Hmm.
from Jackson, Mississippi. Because you got Jackson University.
Oh, you talking about Jackson State?
Jackson State.
Man, don't let's not go there with them, because my thing about the whole situation with these folks with Jackson, which I used to be like, I was down for y'all, but y'all pathetic. I'm sorry. You had the greatest coach that brought in all types of revenue to you, and this how y'all do him? He struggled, he fought to get y'all things and put you on the map. And when he got sick of tired of being sick of tired and he got gone, y'all gave him your butt to kiss. Y'all are pathetic. I'm sorry. I don't know if anybody else has said it, but I'm saying it. Y'all sorry. I don't blame him. I would have went for the money too. It's only so much you can do with ignorance.
That's true. And you're gonna still have that problem. And that's why they one the reason they can get by with it, because all the people of the area in Mississippi, I know more people from that area that don't stay down that way. They got up and left, and they up this way, up in
Mhm.
Memphis, Atlanta.
Over here.
Right. So, only thing you're doing, the state of Mississippi, is hurting your own self.
Yeah.
They were always, and I think this is what I actually think.
Go
I
ahead.
think they got a contest going on. Who can be the poorest state between Arkansas and Mississippi
In Alabama.
and Alabama, because they got the stupidest
Man,
law,
we all know it. We already know.
the stupid laws that's on the book that chase people out. You got laws since Jim Crow still on the books that you can get arrested from,
Yeah, it is.
regardless you was a free man.
Mm.
It's still on the books, and no one have began to take these things off the books. If it's on the books, it's still law, and they is not doing nothing about it. You have, I hate to talk about boundary fights like that. You come across some boundary fight,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hmm.
you done for. Then they gonna point it out that it's on the book. It's a law.
It's always a law. And and my thing is with us, because this is what's important, is us, in the way that we see things. I know for a fact, because I've watched it and I've learned it and I embrace it. You got to understand that you have to have something worth fighting for, dying for.
Man,
If you don't have anything worth dying for, why are you here? I don't understand. You're just taking up space and you're waiting on somebody else to deliver you. That's the teachers in that Christianity that they give you, that you're supposed to sit and be okay, and somebody's gonna mysteriously come in a miracle and just save you from all of this. That ain't how it works. If
No,
you don't go back and look at everything that history has taught us, what have they always done? Take,
Mhm.
kill for it, destroyed for it, stole for it. This is what they do. Enslave people for it. They don't care how to get it. They're going to get it. Like thieves in the night. This is how they do it. This government wasn't created to benefit you. It didn't even acknowledge you. Still don't acknowledge you. Even though we have people that's in this thing because they want to make it seem like it's all fair. If it was fair, they would take that part in there where they have the you as a third of a person, and where they put those little amendments in there that's supposed to rectify it. They will put the right wording in there to where it is rectified and make you whole. You would never, as a Black person, be made whole in the United States of America. They will never see you as what you think. No matter how you try to live among them, no matter how you say love is for everybody and it doesn't matter, it matters. Trust and believe. Let the apocalypse of the wrath that they want to place that back down on us happen, and see how fast you get put out. See how fast your wife or your husband go to the other side. You must remember, history repeats itself every second of the day. You see it. And this is just a small kicker. It's happening. You know, the other places just not saying anything. Why is they making it such a big thing in Mississippi? Why is they putting it out here like this? Why is they having where people are making a ruckus and saying shame on them? But what are you going to do about it? Especially the ones who live there. I'm talking about Mississippi as a whole. What are you going to do about it? You got the sundown states in Mississippi, just like they got them everywhere else across the United States. It's not just in the South. My dad just informed me they got a sundown state in Michigan, which I thought I knew until he said it. It confirmed it. But the theory that I was thinking, you have them everywhere, but you're not wanted. But you want to be wanted by what? When you don't even want to want your own. Make it make sense. I still feel like that I'm right, that we should build our own. They want to build their own. Now, since they putting it out there like that, since we were trying and been trying all these years, these decades and centuries, where now they got their town sitting on top of our dead people that they killed, or they don't put us under the dead bodies under a pool of a lake. Since they doing all of this, and we still trying to get our own, since they want to get their own, then I suggest they all get their own and go in that little hole you want to put yourself in and give the rest of this to us. And let's see how we work it. And we police our own and do a good job of it. And I even say for the rhetoric that we have to deal with, because they got their hands out and they want somebody to hand feed them, you're at your own demise. Because, I mean, and that's not just on this side of the barrel. It's on their side, too. I promise you that they're not trying to take the rhetoric that got their hands out with them because it's a bad look. Just because you think all of this is going on over here of what we got going on and they hollering about our crime and all that stuff, they got the same things going on over there. They just not making noise. They make noise about ours to cover up theirs. That's how that works. But yeah, we too blind to see. We want to kumbaya for what? Every time you turn around, somebody's lynched. Every time you turn around, somebody's being raped. Every time you turn around, somebody's being took. And you okay with it. And you still give these people your dollars. Still give them your dollars. Trillions of dollars. And you're saying, what can we do? You got small groups of people that's showing you what you can do. You got people that got co-ops. You got people that have started their own areas of where people just shop strictly there. Y'all got to do better. I understand. I like looking nice too. I got my overthinking shirt on because that's what I do. But when are we going to learn how to do better? When are we going to do something about it? Mississippi, what are y'all going to do about this? It's not. I mean, I'm all the way over here in Atlanta, and I'm saying something about it because I want y'all to do something about it. You know, it didn't come through over here. It didn't even make it. It made it to the doctor. That's far as it went. It was out. Can't do that not in Atlanta. What the fuck? Oh, I'm sorry. I ain't supposed to cuss. Sorry. But you ain't supposed to do that. You know, y'all got to get this stuff together. I mean, it's nothing wrong. I understand the fear. But you have to understand something too. Quiet mouth don't get fed. I don't give a care if they take you and put you up on a pedestal and think you such a good old boy. And you working with them and they giving you all kind of awards or whatever because you a good old boy. But yet and still, your brother next door is being harassed just because he walking down the street. But you the good old boy and you ain't saying nothing. But you ain't minding babies. What if that come knocking on your door and it happens to you? What are you going to do? You do know that these laws do affect you. You're in that little bubble that you in. I have a world that I'm in all the time in my head. But I do understand in realistic world that I have to live out here, and being quiet is kept is not the way. Even when we're silent, we still get harmed and killed. We still get hurt. They bust in on houses and knowing they made mistakes and still gun down people that weren't supposed to and get away with it. When is enough enough? You sit up here and you rally your people together and you put in implements to educate your own kid. You're a terrorist because you won't let them educate your child. But they're teaching your child that they're less than nothing. Now they got other agendas to just mess up the poor kids. And you still putting them in this school system because you're too lazy to educate your own. Black people, we have the smartest people. Why don't we take our Black educators who do have sense, that's not bound up and wound up into this craziness, pay them the top dollars to educate our kids since you want a school. There are schools that are like that they took and they build and they got good educators that educate the kids. Why don't you do that then? You do know that little money that they give per child, just like they give per person in jail, that's money per child in that jail system that you can't transfer. Long as, you know, that school is whatever, credit or however they do nowadays. Thank God mine is gone out of school and all of that. But you got to learn how to turn the tables. You got to learn how to what's the word for it? Get yourself in a better position to be that voice for your children. The reason why there's such a disconnect is because you're not trying to bridge. What did you call it, Cedric? Bridge the gap so your kids
bridge to help us to make it.
To help us to make it in order for you to gain. You got to gain in order to help your child build. You can't just say you want your child to do better and then you talking down to them because they're not doing better when you don't even know what better is. They're showing you this right here. I don't think any protesting should go on. You get out there, you vote, you do what you have to do, and if it do come to pass, then guess what? You strap on your bootstraps and you get out there and you create your own little area. Buy up the land. Go find them old people that they looking for. Them old Black people that they can give $1,000 for their 10 acres. Go find them in Mississippi. It's a lot of land in Mississippi that's Black owned. And then it's a lot of it that's getting gone, and they're slipping in because people ain't paying the taxes. You know, mom and them gone, and then you because you're not there or you there and you living your own life, and then they got them. I promise you, trust me, they're slipping in like thieves in the night, and they're buying up land through the taxes.
Yeah.
And you don't even know it until you realize that the taxes is due because you're trying to build on Grandmama May's land. And you can't even do it because you ain't know it was took. It was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's almost gone and you ain't even got enough to afford to even pay for it because you weren't doing your due diligence. Y'all got to wake up.
Yeah.
Yes, it's about this law that's about to pass or whatever they decide to do. But yet and still, it's an eye opener too. If it happened, it happened. There's nothing you can do now. They did it behind closed doors as they always do in Mississippi. Everything's always behind closed doors. And then they open the door and say, hey, look what we did. That's what they do. But we got to be more woke, and then instead of just sitting there complaining, what is the solution? What's the solution? Because after article, everybody was gurgitating the same dead gum thing and nobody had a solution. They saying what they did and all this, pointing the finger and stuff. But where's the solution to it? What can it be done? Can you strike the bill? Can you have it pulled back and start over and rewritten and scratched if this is what they want to do? Don't take 12% of the tax money and let them do that. Let them go under what's according to how y'all trying to tell these other black people who want to build their own towns. What you telling them they have to do? Make them do that same thing. Seriously. What else better can be done? Somebody tell me.
Get up and do something. Dale said something.
I see it. Hey, Bestie. Once people leave, we don't like to go back to the SIP. Sure don't. I'm not. I'm going to tell you just like that. I know that was meant for me. I ain't going back. I'm saying just I ain't going back. I'm just not. Because it's to me, because somebody like me, I'm going to get caught up. Y'all going to be missing. Because I don't know. Because I would be the one down there asking the questions, and they like, don't let her get out of here. They're going to catch me on Highway 51 or 55, and I'm out. They're going to take that. Well, I'm not in politics. But yes. And that is true.
People, I like to say this right quick. People got to change their mind of concern about politics and get more involved. They state that it doesn't interfere with you. Yes, it does.
Dale asked the question. He said, but how are we going to help?
Start at home.
Here, you got to start at home. I know that sounds like a cliche, but it has to start at home. Them people who live there, starting home for this is Jackson. It's got to start there. What are y'all going to do about this? How are y'all going to, and I'm telling you again, protesting is not the way. Take your dollars away. Take your dollars away and see how they handle that. I promise you, if everybody would just come together and take their dollars away, see how fast. Think about it. Remember when they were doing the Black Lives Matter over here in Georgia, and there's a certain part of the highway, the interstate, that they were telling them they better not go out there because of things that were going on and coming in and out of coming in out of downtown. How fast you think that the police and stuff came out there when them folks was out there and they was doing their sit-in of their protesting? guess what? They stopped money from moving. If not, just think if they had a really organized that the right way without letting it slip that where they was gonna be. See, somebody had to been talking for them to know. Think if they had a did it in a whole nother way and they got everybody to take away their black dollars from downtown, from key point things in downtown. What you think would have happened? Do you think they could be heard?
Yes.
Money talk. That saying right there. It says a lot. Money talk, bullcrap walks.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all not getting it. You're not getting it. But to help, people got to be open-minded for it. To help, they got to be able to come together and collaborate to come up with some solutions. Now, if this bill does get completely passed, okay, guess what? You know where these people are at. You know what they're about. You know what their intents are. So what can you do to protect? Because that's the next line. I'm not worried about what you're doing or whatever, but let me see what I can do to protect mine. Because it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. They showing you. He said, wait, don't use them. They were a scam and stealing their own kind money. Black Lives Matter. Well, that's what they were. That's what they was out there doing. But that's what they would. That's what the people who unknowns from that. That's what they were doing. They went out there because they believed in something that was a scam. But you ain't gonna talk about that. But they still made a sound that was felt and it was
Right.
heard though. I'm not talking about the name. I'm talking about the people. It had an impact. Now think about if they had did it the right way without, because somebody kept telling these folks where these folks was gonna be. So they had a little bird chirping around.
Yep.
And and it's sad to say when it comes to us, we always got that one bird. If I promise you, if I find one in mine, you gone. And that's mentally and not physically, unless I have to. I'm just saying. My brother's like, dog, I can't believe she did that. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you said it that way.
I'm just saying, it's just because it don't make sense to me. When you trying to uplift and you got that one person that's trying to destroy, you got to go. I'm gonna do you like the back in the hood where you had them people that come, them Arabs and stuff that got the check cashing, and you the one writing out the bad checks. You come out here and you try to do some stuff. I'm gonna have your picture up on the wall for everybody to see too. Don't fuck with them. Don't mess with them. They ain't good. They ain't good. But yes, but all on a serious note, y'all. I mean, it is a sad thing that's going on. I see it on both sides of the perspective. I mean, for me, it's like, I don't know, but then that's that logical part of me like, okay, good. I'm glad they're doing it. Because guess what? If they can do it, I can too. That's the way I see it. But then there's that other part of me, because I know what the SIP is about and what they do, and how they've done our people from years on and on and on, and how they kill off our own, how people are still living in plantations to this day. I know. So what the world else is we to do if we don't start with our own? Are you able to get on the plantations and tell them people, look, you don't have to live here. We can help you find something. Or go back and do, whatever needs to be done to help. It takes a lot. But with the mindset that some of these people have, and I know how I'm set up, I'm too pretty to go to jail. And I'm not trying to fight, but I know what the end result will be, because I know how these people are. They'll hurt you to help them. I'm going to say it one more time. They will hurt you to help them. And see nothing wrong with it and be smiling in your face on Monday. and you're supposed to be okay with it. And that's not the way the ball bounces. Lois, do y'all have, as you know of, do y'all ever have any kind of problems like this in Bama?
Uh, of course we have problem in like that in Alabama. And when I back in the time when I was like young, I have seen stuff and I shook my head. And when you go to places down there, you see you didn't see our kind in the office. You saw the regular kind in the office. You know, it was like, okay, where's our people? When you like you said, when you see our people, they either doing outside work, maintenance work, doing the trash. Yes, it's still going on now. Nothing ain't changed. It's still going on now. That's why I don't go back down there. I refuse to go back down there unless something emergency happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad.
It is. It's sad for real. Logan, I feel your brain.
It's, you know, all the traveling that's done, I still have those issues from the past concerning about what is happening. And it's a shame. It gonna have to start at home. It's just and we have too much information out here to obtain information out here. Your phone you got a portable library that you carry with you.
Yeah.
And you does nothing concerning about your community where you live in. And that's what happens. You're going to have more and more, and you're going to have more and more laws going to start interfering with your household within. And you got to understand that you got to know what is going across the book instead of turning the channel and got to watch the next episode. I'm just calling somebody a show out, or some type of sitcom, or somebody's soap show, or somebody going off on Facebook, or somebody doing something funny on TikTok. Nothing actually used to actual betterment of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You Mississippi people can empower themselves if they stay diligent and dedicated to improve the community what they live in. And by improving the community you live in, it's basically is taking care of you inside your household. Reach one and touch one. Because once you get one house, then you got another house, then you got a little small tribe, and that tribe builds. But it's going to take some time because we have let a blaze that is running out of proportion. And it's running from state to state. They changed the name, they changed how they do it, but it's the same thing. Just because I'm not riding a wagon and got a horse, but the horse is not in the engine, because guess what they ask you? How many horsepower? Instead of saying how many horses you have, how much horsepower you have.
Right.
So it just simply changed the name. And I know people in Mississippi and around the country feel hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
It feel hopeless. But
Yes.
nothing is not going to change if you sit on your butt. Anybody can just about sit. You heard it before. If you listen, I ain't gonna believe. I know Michael X said in a speech, anybody can sit. I'm not going through the whole speech, but anybody can sit.
Yep.
Man can sit.
Mm-hmm.
An old man can sit.
Yep.
But the thing is what you doing while you sitting. Read something and do something about it. Just don't get the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Sonya had the knowledge, and a couple of people on the panel have the knowledge. We taking the time out our busy schedule to bring this to you. Yes, we could have went to another episode or something topic, but this is a eye opener that the people needed, and we are brought to the table, and we bring it to the people. Once again, the things on that is said on this show is simply for educational purpose, in education and entertainment. Do your research your own self. Do your diligent reading
Mm-hmm.
of what is actually going on. Believe me, if you know what I know, you will go and start trying to find out and read deeper in the bill, because this is just a glimpse that is in the light.
Exactly. And Toyana just said, Toyana said that pure sad is like an overwhelming feeling of helplessness. Reconditioning minds is one of the most difficult things because dysfunction is etched within the DNA. And that is so, so true.
Mm-hmm.
It is. You're right. And it is affected in the DNA. So
It is.
I want to see how many Black people are going to be left behind on, of what's to come. Toyana also said, she's talking to you, Logan. Yes, we have to go deeper into issues and keep learning. We have no choice. That's true.
Right.
Now we got to get everybody on board.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But we need to do is something got to be done. I don't think that they should go into protesting. We already know that their government across Mississippi itself is predominantly white. They have their token ones, and then they do have some that might have made it in that's trying to make a difference. Maybe. You have aldermen. Are they making a difference, or are they tokens? We don't know. I'm not over there. I know one that was in there that was Avan and Sardis, and I know for a fact he was a token, and I know he was getting paid to be a token. So, but I don't know if he's still alive or not. I was young then. But yeah, it happens. You're not in there for the betterment of the people per se. You're in there for the betterment of your pockets.
mm-hmm.
But when is enough? Does it have to hit home and get your child? Does it have to get your wife? Does it have to hit your parents? When is enough to where you really want to make a change for whoever is in here that can make the changes, truly make the changes? Again, I'm gonna say it again. You let Cindy stay, and she was for real about watching a public lynching. Nothing was said and done about that. That woman is still in office today, but you wanna shut Kanye down because he's telling the truth. She told the truth, and she get to thrive. Because you want to know what the difference was? He said it against white people. She said it against Black. And it's okay to talk about Blacks in that manner.
In all the ways that she can actually get about with it, because more Black people need to begin to respect Black people and respect
That
ourselves.
part.
You disrespect your people and yourself, other people don't respect you. And and whatever you do, got really little nothing. So only way you can actually protest is with your money.
Yep. And I think that they should do it with their money.
And I don't know why this came on I don't know why this came on my head, crossing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
That the time you start pulling the money away from certain people,
mm-hmm.
what crossed my head was Dingo with the apple. The man that was at, did I always treat you right?
Yep.
They're gonna bring up everything what they did.
Yep.
and treat you right. But you talked a minute ago, you talked to low down and put me down. And it may not be directly towards me, but it was done indirectly towards me. And if you does it to me,
You do
one
it.
of the root, you done it to them. Because one of the things I was taught, how I portray myself doesn't just portray myself, it portray me as a man, a black man, a family man, my family, and everything. So
Yep.
I have to walk accordingly and stand at a respectful stature,
Yep.
regardless what you can say. Because I found out the truth will always stand. Always. It may take years. It may not stand up while you live it, but it may be years. So let's not make it out to be years before the truth stand out to be what it need to be.
And Toyana agrees with you. She said, yes, we are actually each other. And that is true. You know,
Mm.
it's sad in a sense that when we sit up here and you know, and I'm gonna say this again, black people, if you just open up your mind, if you do one thing, I'm telling you, it will help you get a better understanding. Because I can't tell you any other thing that to read or whatever. But if you want to get an understanding of why a lot of us is so for us coming together and building together, go and read the Willie Lynch letter. I'm telling you, whether it's real or not, because they out there saying it ain't real, so it ain't real. You got those of us who think like that because they say that it ain't real. It ain't real. It's real. When you look at the concepts of the mindset of how they destroyed the linkage between a black man and a black woman, and the more that we try to come together, the more this society on this social medias are tearing us apart. And I'm gonna say it again. Can't no social media, can't no nobody tell me how to be the black woman that I want to be. Just like they
Amen.
can't tell my brother how to be the black man he wants to be. What's for you is for you. What's connected and designed by God to connect to you is for you. You don't need to be out here running behind every Tom, Dick, and Harry and everything else, trying to find the man that you're supposed to have. If you are true to thyself, what's connected to you will come to you. Somebody said it best, and I thought I loved to hear it. Um, Women are flowers. And I'm gonna say this: black women are flowers. You ain't gotta chase nothing. The bee always come to you. And that's the way it's always been. What's for you is for you. Bees don't have to be another man. It could be a sister from another mother, a brother from another mother. Everything is connected in a way because of the energy pools that we have for what is favor to you. If you wreak evil, evil shall come. If you wreak heaven, heaven shall come. It's all on you. That's the way it all bounces. What's innate in you is what's for you. And if you sit there and you say nothing, then nothing shall ever be done. And I say, shut your mouth. Don't talk about it because you ain't about it. Do something. Jackson, do something. Complaining ain't it. Complaining ain't it. And again, petitioning, walking, marching, that ain't it either. Pull that money. Pull it. It's a lot of black businesses in Jackson. I know, for real. And in surrounding areas. Do what you got to do. Alois?
Yes. My 2 cents is
You know it.
my 2 cents is God did not give you the spirit of fear. He always says, if my people are called by my name and will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways and I will hear from heaven, and I will forgive them and heal their land. So that's what y'all need to do. That's my 2 cents.
All right, girl. Man, that jumbo jet. Logan,
My
come on, bring that $100 bill on in.
They can wear a short fold up $100 bill. Education is fine. Education is fine. Knowledge is fine. And they told me when I was growing up, knowledge is power. I want to say that's a bunch of crap. Why? Because it don't do you no good if you don't use it.
Amen.
Man.
That's my 2 cents. I land my plane.
Amen.
That was quick, but it was wonderful. Oh, how am I going to do this? Mississippi, this is what I want. Are you going to continue to be denied as Black people your political power? Are you going to allow these people to continue to do the things that they're doing to take away your Black vote? Are you going to try to equip yourself? Because think about it. These Republicans that's over in Mississippi, they're creating this court that is going to unaccount the Black votes. Keep on thinking that it ain't going to affect you and that all you're going to do is sit there and complain like he said. Actions always speak louder than words. I don't care about your words. I care about the action. And that's with everything. You can, like they always do with these politics, they always feed y'all the fluff and y'all flow for it. Why is it that y'all love these little flowy words of eloquence, of them telling you what all they're going to do? It's just like I had to laugh at myself about what I'm going to say. I don't know if I should say it, but I'm going to say it anyway.
I'm ready.
You getting ready to hit the button. Well, let me say it though. Let me say it though. It's just like a man when you're on the street and he see a woman he like that he wants to treat, and he says all those words of sweet nothings and you fall for it. You end up on that one night stand and then Jody gone. That's what the government is to you.
Okay.
Oh, you safe now.
Yes.
It just hit me and it made me giggle, but it is. They do it every time when it's time for this. They say all these promises and stuff. Oh, baby, I'm going to do right by you, and we're going to be in love, and we're going to have babies, and we're going to do this, and then you put them in office, and then they go. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to make fun of this. It's not funny, but I have to.
Jody got your vote and gone.
I have to make fun of this because it's serious for real. It's very, very serious. And I'm making light of this is because nobody's doing anything, and it's very hurtful to me. So I'd rather laugh than cry. And you know that you're not doing anything about this, but you're sitting here and you're seeing it. Everybody's seeing it. It's in national news. And then in a minute, just as quickly as it came, it's gone. You know, that moment of all that talk, get you where you want, the climax, and then woof, you're like, what the heck? That's what it is. It's just what it is. No commitment. So that's my 2 cents. And just for those who want to know, I am not drunk. This is cranberry peach juice. So I had to make it look. I couldn't. I got some other things that I'm doing, so I can't do that. But I really wanted it. I really, really did, because I know this was going to be kind of tough. But I wanted to make it light, and I wanted people to understand that in this world, we make it what we want it to be. And even though we might not count to them, we count to each other. And we can be the voices that we need to be, and we can build our own. Look at them. They building their own. I say, let's get to it. Let's everybody that wants to, let's build our own. I'm being for real. They can do what we can too. That's the only light of I can see in it, is that they proven to me that if they can do it, we can too. But see, this is the thing. We got to have security. We got to have protection. We got to make sure that we're able to be in a position to where we don't have another Wall Street running across the United States in every state, of destroying what we're trying to create, because that's what they do. They do not want us to succeed. They do not want us to have. But they tell us to pull up by our bootstraps. So if they doing it the easy way, we know we can do it the hard way. I said, let's have at it. Let's see who with the best group with. Congratulations, Mississippi. Let's see what you do next. And next week, hopefully Adula will be on. If not, we'll find something else to talk about. I'll and hopefully he'll let me know. And but he will be talking about the good, the bad, and ugly of the banking, for the financially free. So next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Unless something else come up that kind of tug at my soul, or anybody else that's out here on the panel, we're going to talk about it, because we got to do better. And I bid you all have a blessed night. And may God cover us all, the God that we serve. And if you don't serve a God, whatever you serve, may it be bountiful and plentiful, because guess what? Every crow comes to roost. Good night.
Good night.